Hey friends, Ms. Depew here. I want to go over what my expectations are for you being an ALP, or maybe you're in homebound or virtual. And this is going to walk you through how to access your online material and what will be due at the end of the semester. So go ahead and follow along with me. So the first thing we're going to look at is Clever. All of you should know how to get on Clever. Because that's where you go to access pretty much everything that you need for school. And so that's where we're going to end up first. So you're going to want to go to Clever, but I want to let you know that the projects and the assignments that you're going to have being in ALP or being homebound, or if you're doing virtual ALP, is going to be at your own pace. So you're not going to have to keep up with what we're doing in class. And in all actuality, what we're doing in class isn't going to have anything to do with what you're doing at home. However, you will be looking at and studying the same topics that we're covering. You're just not going to be approaching it in the same way. All right, so go ahead and go on over to Clever. And when you're at Clever, I actually have a teacher page. So if you go and you find me, it'll say M. Depew's page. You're going to see a bunch of different apps. And you can see here on the slideshow where I have NGL Sync circled. So it's going to be a black box. It's going to say NGL in yellow on the side with white sync. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on that. And that is actually going to take you to our online textbook. So if you have never accessed this before, I believe you're going to sign in with Google, but it's going to take you to the online textbook. And it should pop up a page that says launch course, should have principles of business management there, might have my name there, and you're just going to go ahead and hit that launch course button, and it's going to open up your textbook. Now, yours may look slightly different than my teacher version, but I believe that you're going to be able to access exactly what I'm showing you on the next couple of slides. Okay, so hit launch course, and you can see on the slide currently that it should bring up like a list that says unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, so on and so forth. So go ahead and do that. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to see those little arrows. You're going to have down arrows, you're going to have up arrows. And if you click on those down arrows, it will open up more tabs under each section. So you can see here I'm using chapter 1 as the example. And I hit that down arrow, which popped it up. And you're going to see where it says chapter 1 introduction. It's going to show chapter activities. You're going to want to open up that folder because that's where you're going to access your assignments. So essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be reading the chapter, reading the sections of the chapter, and then there's going to be a couple of review questions, or I think they call it review 1.1 practice. So it's typically like 3 or 4 questions, and that's just to make sure that you're understanding what you're reading. And if you need things read to you, there is a text to speak option. There's like a little head with some lines coming out of it. You can always hit that and it will actually read the text to you if you do need that. So you're going to be completing the review practices throughout the whole thing. And then after you're all done, there will be a chapter test at the end. And that's where the big points come into play. So for instance, on this chapter 1 test, it says, I think it's worth 41 points or something like that. Well, it's going to be more than that because it's going to be a summative score. So you're going to want to make sure that you are doing well, and you can use any resource that you need to be able to take this test. So if you're taking it and you want to open up an extra tab to where you have access to the book, I don't care. That's fine, just as long as you're taking the time to do it and do it well, so that way you can get a good grade. I want to point out a couple of other things for you too on NGL Sync. It would be the right-hand side. You're going to see a little black bar over there, and there's a couple of helpful things. There's a little blue book. That blue book, if you click on it, actually opens up like a PDF digital version of the entire book. So if you're having some issues kind of finding where you're at, you can click on that, and that would bring up the whole book for you. You can also see your progress at the bottom. There's going to be a little head with a circle around it. and that will continue to grow as you're completing your assignments. And you can click on that and it will kind of show you where you're at for your chapter as you're going through it. All right, so like I said, this is at your own pace. Some of you are needing to make up credits. Some of you are on track and you're just trying to kind of keep up with where we are in class. So what I've done is I've laid out the chapters that you're needing to complete based on which quarter. So right now it's the day 1 of quarter 4. So over the next 9 weeks, we're going to be covering chapter 23, chapter 24, and chapter 25. Okay. But if you, let's say you failed last semester and you're trying to make up credits for that, you can see in quarter 1, we covered chapters 1 through 3. In quarter 2, we covered chapters 4 and 5. So you would need quarter 1 and quarter 2 for the first semester. Now, if you're looking at this current semester, quarter 3, which we just wrapped up, we covered chapter 7 and chapter 13. So those are the only chapters that you're going to need to do. You're not going to need to do all the chapters in the book, okay? These are the only ones that you're going to need to do. So depending on what you're needing to succeed, you will begin on those chapters. And all of that information is going to come directly to me. You don't need to email me that you finished something because I'm going to see it on my end, okay? The only time you'll ever need to reach out is if you have questions. Maybe you don't understand something, you can't find something, or you're completely done with what you're needing to do, either for making up credits or this current semester, and then I'm going to give you your final project. So if you're working on quarter 1 and quarter 2, and you get both of those done, you need to email me so I can give you your project, okay? If you're finishing up quarter 3 and quarter 4, awesome. Reach out to me so I can give you your end of semester project so you can work on that. So grades, they're going to be broken down into a couple of sections. So you're going to have your section review points that is going to go towards your grade. You're going to have your test points that are going to go towards your grade. And then I'm going to be keeping track on your participation with your reading. So it's going to tell me, it's going to kind of track me how long it takes you to kind of read a section. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's going to tell me all of that data information. So I'm going to give you like an overall participation score for how much you're reading, how much time you're taking to read, because on average, you know, everybody's going to take about the same amount of time to read through something. So make sure that you are actually reading and taking the time to do that. And then lastly, it will be that final. I don't have that little piece of the pie in there, but you'll have that final that will also be graded. Last but not least, if you have questions, like I said, I am going to be on Zoom every Wednesday from 9:15 to 9:30, and there's going to be a Zoom link on Schoology for you to click on, and you can jump on there. I can answer questions for you. I may end up having like a mid-quarter mandatory Zoom meeting with everybody, so just be on the lookout for your email. I'll probably also send it to you on Schoology as well, just to make sure you're accessing it. And again, I'm always available by email. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me, is through email. I even check my email at home. So if you're working at your own pace at night and you need a question answered, be sure to hit me up on there. So just to reiterate, you don't have to follow along with what we're doing in class. So if you see all those folders up there, you don't need to worry about that anymore. You're just going to focus on this work in NGL Sync. All right. So if you have questions, email me. Otherwise, good luck. And I look forward to seeing all of your hard work. I'll talk to you later. Bye.